It fades away without warning. You slept, you woke up, and the signal that should be there, the one every man knows, simply wasn't anymore. And deep down, you know what I'm talking about. You tried to ignore it, tried to blame it on fatigue, stress, age, but deep inside, there's a question that won't leave your mind. What if it never comes back? I'm Dr. Natália Castro, and what I'm about to show you completely changes that answer. Because what's happening to you isn't the end of anything. It's the start of a mistake you repeat every morning without realizing it. A mistake that seems innocent, even normal, but is silently destroying something inside you. And if you leave this video now without understanding what that mistake is, the process will continue. Silent, constant, irreversible if you let it progress. But calm down because there is a window of time within your own day where everything can change. A window that most men don't even know exists, and it lasts just 3 minutes. 3 minutes that happen right after you open your eyes in the morning. And what you do or don't do in those 3 minutes determines everything your body will produce or fail to produce in the next 24 hours. But before I show you what to do, I need to show you what you're doing wrong. Because if you don't understand the mistake first, the protocol won't work. And the mistake starts long before you get out of bed. Think with me. How does your day begin? The alarm goes off, you reach out, grab your phone, check notifications, maybe open a message or look at the news. Then you get up all at once, go to the bathroom, come back, turn on the coffee machine, and you're already on your feet. In rhythm, on autopilot, it seems harmless, it seems normal. It's what everyone does. But it's exactly at that moment that you're making the mistake. And to understand why this is a mistake, you need to understand what happened inside your body during the last hours of sleep. Because at night, while you were sleeping, your body entered a state of conservation. Circulation slowed down. The blood became more viscous, thicker, as if it were in low-speed mode. The blood vessels, which should open and pulse with force, are contracted. And a fundamental molecule, perhaps the most important for male vitality, is at its lowest level in the last 24 hours. The name of that molecule is nitric oxide, and if you've never heard of it, you need to understand it now. Because what I'm about to tell you will change how you view your own body. Nitric oxide is what makes blood vessels open up. It's what allows blood to circulate with force, to reach where it needs to go, to fill what needs to be filled. Without adequate levels of nitric oxide, blood flow becomes weak, slow, insufficient. And do you know which part of the body depends most on this intense flow to function? The region you already know I'm talking about. But here's the detail that almost no one mentions. There is a window in the first minutes after waking up where the body is waiting for a signal to reactivate this system. It's like a computer that was turned off and is waiting for a command to truly turn on. If the right command arrives, the system restarts with force. If the wrong command arrives, the system freezes, and it takes time until someone notices it's frozen. And what do you do in that window? Do you drink strong coffee on an empty stomach? Do you get up suddenly? Do you start the day in agitated mode? And these 3 behaviors, especially when combined, do exactly the opposite of what your body needs. Let me explain what happens with each one. First, strong coffee on an empty stomach. Caffeine on an empty stomach, especially when the body has just come out of nighttime rest, causes blood vessels to contract. The vessels that should be opening up and receiving blood stay even more closed. And it's not a small effect. Studies show that excess caffeine on an empty stomach can reduce vascular diameter by up to 20%. But there's something worse than that. Coffee spikes cortisol. And cortisol is the hormone your body produces when it's in alert mode, threat mode, survival mode. And there's a chemical war inside you that few people know about. Cortisol and testosterone are direct enemies. The more cortisol circulating, the less testosterone your body produces. And the less testosterone, the weaker the signal for the system to function. Second, the phone right after waking up. I know it seems irrelevant, but it's not. When you expose your brain to information right in the first seconds after waking, especially news, messages, social media, the nervous system goes into reactive mode. The body releases a small dose of cortisol immediately, even before the coffee. And this early morning cortisol disrupts the natural hormonal rhythm that should happen in the first hours of the day. Do you know what that rhythm is? It's precisely the natural testosterone peak that occurs in the early morning hours. And it's exactly during that peak that the body produces the signals for what you're missing. Third, getting up suddenly. This seems the least serious, but it can be the most treacherous. When you get up abruptly without preparing your body, gravity acts immediately. The blood, which was distributed throughout your body during sleep, drops to your legs, to your feet. And for a few seconds, the region that depends most on intense circulation is literally deprived of blood right at the most important moment of the day. Now imagine repeating this every day, every morning, for months, for years. What happens to the blood vessels? They lose their memory, lose their elasticity, become rigid, slow, lazy. And when the vessels lose the ability to open with force, the flow weakens gradually, without pain, without warning, until one day you notice something has changed and too much time has passed. But here's the central point of what I need to tell you today. Pay attention, because this changes everything. Most men who lose male vitality after 60 don't have a serious hormonal problem. It's not the prostate, it's not inevitable aging. In more than 8 out of 10 cases, the problem is in the blood vessels, specifically the thinnest vessels in the body, which are the first to suffer when circulation starts to fail. And do you know what that means in practice? That the problem isn't where you think it is. And because it's not where you think, none of the conventional treatments go straight to the cause. Doctors treat the symptom. You need to understand the cause, and the cause is in that 3-minute window you're missing every morning. Now I'm going to tell you something that might be the most important thing in this video. Something that most cardiologists know, but few explain clearly to patients. The male region has the thinnest blood vessels in the entire human body. Some of these vessels are as thin as 1/3 of a hair strand. And do you know the consequence of that? When circulation starts to fail somewhere in the body, these are the first vessels to be affected. They are the canary in the coal mine, the early warning, the message your body sends before bigger problems appear. That's why cardiologists say, the man who starts losing male vitality today, if he doesn't treat the cause, could face a serious cardiovascular problem in 3 or 4 years. It's not exaggeration, it's anatomy. It's the same process happening in different vessels. And if you ignore the signal your body is sending now, the larger vessels will follow the same path. But here's the news you need to hear. These vessels aren't dead, they're dormant. And there's a process called vascular remodeling, documented in studies with men in their 70s and 80s. This process proves that vessels can regenerate, recover elasticity, and function like they did before as long as they receive the right stimuli. And that's exactly where the 3-minute protocol comes in. Comment below where you're watching from, because I see men from all over, of all ages, going through exactly what I'm describing. And each comment shows me this content is reaching where it needs to. Now I'll show you the protocol. 3 steps, 3 minutes every morning, and each step has a specific function in your biology. It's not random, not guesswork. It's the result of understanding what the body needs, exactly when it needs it most. First step, strategic hydration. Before opening your phone, before getting up, before anything, drink 2 glasses of non-chilled water because cold water causes thermal shock and delays absorption, not hot. The ideal temperature is lukewarm or room temperature because at that temperature, the body absorbs it quickly and the blood starts becoming less viscous immediately. But there's a detail in this hydration that makes all the difference. A secret most people don't know. Add a small pinch of natural sea salt to the water. It can be Himalayan pink salt, Celtic salt, not refined industrial salt. Natural sea salt contains dozens of minerals that do something pure water alone can't. They reactivate the electrical conduction of cells. Every cell in your body runs on electricity. Nerves conduct electrical signals, muscles contract via electrical impulses, and when cells are electrically active, signals from the brain reach the nerves that control vascular response faster and clearer. The message leaves the brain, arrives at the destination, and the body responds. Without these minerals, that chain becomes slow, imprecise, like a phone call with static on the line. I have a patient named Eduardo, 67 years old. He spent almost 2 years thinking the problem was hormonal. He did tests, hormones were reasonable. The doctor said it was age. He started the protocol, and on the 5th day, he messaged me saying he woke up different, felt a signal he hadn't felt in a long time. It wasn't a miracle, it was the body finally getting what it needed first thing in the morning. Second step, vascular reactivation. Still lying down without getting up yet. You'll do 3 simple movements that create a chain reaction in the body. The first movement, flex and extend your feet alternately, as if slowly pedaling 20 times. This movement activates the calf muscles. And the calves aren't just leg muscles, they function as a second heart. They're what pump blood back up against gravity. When you activate the calves first thing in the morning, you push the blood that's pooled in the extremities back into central circulation, and the body starts redistributing that blood where it's most needed. The second movement, still sitting on the bed, lean your torso forward and back slowly, 15 times. This movement wakes up the pelvic floor muscles. These muscles support the vascular response in the region. When they're weak, dormant, inactive, the response fades. When they're active and stimulated, they function as structural support for what needs to happen. It's like strengthening the foundation before building on top. The third movement, 5 deep breaths, expanding the belly, not the chest. Inhale through the nose, hold for 2 seconds. Exhale slowly through the mouth. This type of breathing, called diaphragmatic breathing, has a direct and documented effect on nitric oxide production. Remember the nitric oxide that was at its lowest level of the day right after waking? This breathing starts reversing that immediately. It increases oxygen pressure in the blood, stimulates vascular endothelial cells, and triggers the natural release of nitric oxide. The vessels start to open, blood starts circulating with more force, and the sequence that was stuck begins to move. Studies with men over 60 showed that after 2 weeks of doing these movements every morning, over 80% reported significant improvement in vascular response. After 30 days, that number rose to 94%. Without medication, without procedures, just the body being activated correctly at the right time. Third step, hormonal startup nutrition. Before coffee, still fasting, take 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil mixed with the juice of half a freshly squeezed lemon. I know it sounds strange, but let me explain the science behind it, because it's not guesswork or folk remedy, it's biochemistry. The The monounsaturated fats in quality extra virgin olive oil are the substrate your body uses to produce steroid hormones, including testosterone. When you provide this good fat first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, the body gets a clear signal that material is available for testosterone production. It's like supplying the raw material before asking the factory to run. The lemon, in turn, provides high concentration vitamin C. And vitamin C has a little known but extremely important role. It protects nitric oxide from degradation. Do you know what that means? The nitric oxide you started producing with the breathing in the second step, instead of being quickly destroyed by the body's oxidative environment, is preserved longer. It acts for longer, and the result is more sustained vasodilation, not a quick peak that vanishes in minutes. This olive oil plus lemon combination does two things at once. It stimulates hormonal production and protects the vessels. That's why it's in the protocol. But there's something important I need to tell you here, because if you get this wrong, the protocol loses power. After taking the mixture, wait at least 20 minutes before having coffee. Not because coffee is forbidden, but because in those 20 minutes, the body is absorbing and processing the compounds you provided. If you interrupt with caffeine at that moment, you interrupt the process. Let the body work first, and when you do have coffee, eat something with it. Eggs are ideal. They contain choline, an essential nutrient for nerve conduction, including the nerves that control vascular response. Never again strong coffee on an empty stomach as the first thing of the day. That habit was working against you all along. Now I need to tell you what to expect when you start the protocol, because many men give up before seeing results since they don't know what happens first. In the first 2 days, you'll urinate more than usual. That's not a problem. It's the body eliminating retained fluid, rebalancing accumulated metabolites. It's a sign the protocol is working, not the opposite. Soon after, between the second and third day, comes a different feeling upon waking. A lightness, a mental clarity that wasn't there before. It's like the fog that accompanied your awakening starts to dissipate. Many men describe this moment as truly waking up for the first time in months. And here, I need to pause and ask you an important question. Do you have the medical guide to avoid mistakes that damage the prostate? After 60, it's available in the pinned comment right below this video, because what I'm explaining about circulation and vessels is directly connected to prostate health. And that guide details specific mistakes men make every day without knowing. Mistakes that worsen the problem I'm describing now. It's well worth having that material along with the protocol. Back to what happens between the 3rd and 7th day of the protocol. It's in this period that many men report the most exciting part. The return of the first morning signals. Sometimes subtle, sometimes still inconsistent, but present. And the presence is everything, because it's the clearest sign that blood has started circulating with enough force, that the vessels are responding, that the system is waking up. In the second week, progress starts to consolidate. Responses become more consistent, more spontaneous. Mood improves noticeably. Confidence returns in a way that's not just physical, it's postural, vocal, relational. Men who've gone through this protocol describe a change that goes far beyond what they expected, a feeling of returning to who they were. With 3 to 4 weeks, the process stabilizes, and here's a fascinating scientific explanation for that. The cells lining the blood vessels, called endothelial cells, renew completely every 28 days. That means in less than a month, your body literally builds a new vascular layer, more elastic, more responsive, more efficient. A study published by Japanese researchers documented this process in men over 65. After 4 weeks following a protocol similar to what I've described, blood flow in the region increased by 67%. And the images showed real, measurable changes in vessel elasticity. It wasn't perception, it was visible biology in exams. But there's one piece of the protocol I haven't shown you yet, and it works while you sleep, because all the work you do in the morning can be amplified or wasted depending on what you do at night. And there are 3 nighttime mistakes that are silently sabotaging what the morning protocol builds. The first mistake, sleeping on your stomach. This position compresses the pelvic region vessels for hours on end. Hours of restricted circulation in that area when the body should be regenerating. Try sleeping on your side or back. Small change, big impact. The second mistake, tight underwear during sleep. Synthetic fabrics and elastics that compress raise the local temperature, and elevated temperature in the testicles reduces testosterone production. The body is designed to keep that region a few degrees below body temperature for a reason. When you interfere with that, you interfere with hormonal production. Use looser, lighter fabrics or sleep without. The third mistake, excess liquids in the 2 hours before bed. This interrupts deep sleep with bathroom trips. And deep sleep is when the body produces the most testosterone, growth hormone, and vascular repair signaling. Each interruption cuts that process short. Hydration should happen during the day. At night, reduce it. When you combine the morning protocol with these nighttime adjustments, the effect multiplies. The body has enough time to regenerate at night, and the 3 morning minutes find a more rested, more receptive, more ready-to-respond system. It's this combination that explains why results appear in days, not months. One of my patients, Gilberto, 71 years old, spent over 2 years convinced time had passed, that it was final, that there was nothing more to do. He started the protocol half skeptically, more to say he'd tried than with real hope. In the second week, he said a phrase I'll never forget. He said he woke up one morning and lay there in silence for a few minutes just to make sure he wasn't dreaming. His body had started giving signals he hadn't seen in years. This isn't a miracle, it's physiology. It's the body getting what it needed and responding as it's designed to. But I need to be honest with you about one thing. The protocol works with consistency. 3 minutes every morning, not 3 minutes when you remember. Vascular regeneration is a process. It happens in layers over days and weeks. If you break the rhythm, the process starts over from zero. Consistency isn't optional, it's the protocol. And there's one more thing I need to tell you. If after 4 weeks of rigorously following the protocol, results still don't appear, there's a chance another factor is involved, one that goes beyond what a morning protocol can achieve. In that case, seeing a specialist is the right path. Not because the protocol failed, but because your body is sending a signal that deserves professional attention. Most men, however, won't need that path because most cases are exactly what I've described. Vessels that forgot how to function, circulation slowed by bad habits, a system that needs stimulation, not treatment. And those 3 minutes are the stimulation they've been waiting for. Now tell me something. How many mornings have you already lost doing exactly what I told you not to? Getting up suddenly? Drinking strong coffee before anything else, grabbing your phone still in bed? How many mornings did your body wait for the right signal and get the wrong one? It doesn't matter how many. What matters is what you'll do tomorrow morning. And tomorrow morning, before anything else, you'll drink 2 glasses of lukewarm water with a pinch of sea salt. You'll flex your feet, move your torso, breathe deeply. You'll take olive oil with lemon and wait before coffee. 3 minutes, 3 steps every day. And in a few days, maybe the 3rd, maybe the 5th, maybe the 7th. You'll wake up different and you'll understand in your own body what I meant today. The vitality you feel you've lost hasn't gone away. It's waiting for the right signals, waiting for your 3 minutes. If this content reached where it needed to, subscribe to the channel, because here we speak clearly about what almost no one has the courage to explain. We're building a community of men who don't accept decline as destiny, who understand that age isn't the problem, the habit is. And any habit can be replaced, starting tomorrow morning, starting now. Yeah,